I had always been interested and very involved in drama and dramatic productions in my youth in Yorkshire, and I continued to be involved after I was married. My husband was also a keen drama enthusiast. My parents had met through a mutual interest in concert work, and my first experience was at Sunday school, where we had a teacher who enjoyed putting on small entertainments. This was my first introduction to performing before an audience, apart from family. Oh, and I loved it. And my weekly visits to our local repertory theatre, they were a real treat. Later, my husband's business took us to the Lebanon in 1966, and then on our return, 2 years later, now living in Hexham, one of my first intentions was to find a drama group. I understood that there had been at one time a group called the Elvaston Players, but that it had ceased to exist. But I did, however, read in the local paper a notice announcing that the Hexham Amateur Stage Society were commencing rehearsals for their next production. As I had also been involved in operatic productions because of my interest in singing, I went along to the meeting. Now, chatting to a few people, I gathered that the society was halfway through rehearsals, having started earlier in the year. A bit too late to join in then, but I did the following year. And in those days, the Society's productions took place in the Forum Cinema and later at the High School. Well, after a few years, a group of Hexham Stage Society members decided to form a drama section of the Society, and it proved to be very successful. We put on plays at the community centre and in the library, and we took first place in many of the drama festivals organised by the Tynedale Arts Council, in which my husband was very involved. After a little while, it was agreed that the drama group should stand on its own 2 feet, and with the blessing of the Hexham Stage Society, the group changed its name and became the Queen's Hall Theatre Club. Well, desperate to get the theatre up and running, I remember serving coffee and tea in the foyer, and concerts were held in the library to raise interest and money. My husband, Donald, who was at the time both a Hexham and a Tynedale councillor, together with Tom Newman, a local builder and a Hexham businessman, worked so hard to get the council to take on the building so that Hexham could have its own art centre. And I think it was a fantastic thing for the town, and it involved years and years of hard work. The Queen's Hall wanted local people to use the art centre, and we were very much encouraged. And our first production as Queen's Hall Theatre Club was Book of the Month in May 1985. And since then, well, I've taken part in so many productions over the years. The fun that I have had and the amount of pleasure has been tremendous. I always had my nose in the book learning lines, and I remember going to jumble sales to gather costumes. Oh, I've been so lucky, really, so lucky and so fortunate to enjoy so much. So blinking fortunate. I've had so much pleasure, made so many friends, and I hope I have given pleasure as well. Looking at old posters and programmes, this is my life in programmes. I can't believe it. There are years of work here. Standout productions like On Golden Pond with dear Tom Corfe. Noises Off, which was hilarious. When We Are Married, twice. And Steel Magnolias. My last production was Blackadder in 2016, where I was the wise woman. So I ended my career as a wise woman. I am delighted that my son has inherited the family's interest in the stage and has such a thriving drama group and musical society here on hand, and such a wonderful theatre in which to stage their productions.